Hey, given our combo, are you still planning to remove the guns from the home? This is like, first of all of this is within the same day. And then this is like within just a couple hours. Like, are we fucking kidding? How different do you think the answer is going to be here, John? Having a bit of a storage issue. Hi, bud. Trying to get through this quickly. He said, so if you have the same feeling next week, I won't be coming home, so I don't know how to fix that. And I said, well, that's not good. And he said, if you're worried I'm going to hurt myself, then what am I supposed to do? And I said, so I should just bend here because you're threatening to never come home and then be told I manipulated you by giving in. He said, no, not what I'm saying at all. And I said, I mean shit. He said, I'm saying if you're living in fear, I'm going to hurt myself there, then I'm not coming home to see you in fear. Why can't you understand that? And I said, okay. Then I guess we'll see each other when we see each other. So he's wanting me to just say that, you know, it's cool that he's just not the fuck gonna come home. And I'm wanting him to say, well, it's okay to move the guns and then I will come home. So we're at a stalemate. I want to be safe and have my husband come home. He wants to be unsafe and then come home, or just then not the fuck come home and go to Vegas and then live there for the rest of his life, like he's doing. Okay. So, I mean, he got what he wanted, right? He said, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do. You're taking this way too far, and you're telling your mom it's me. And I have to live lies because you have one in your head that's keeping me here. And I said, then go ahead and tell her. But again, the first thing anyone asks when talking about a bipolar episode, or no, a bipolar episodic individual returning home is, are there weapons? I know. I had about 26 people ask me. I said, I'm sorry you struggle. I've been through some stuff too, and unfortunately it's changed me as well. I choose to feel safer. You choose to stay away because you don't like that. It's terrible and hurts, and it isn't what anyone would ask for in life, but here we are. I'm very defeated at this point. He said, have you moved the guns already? I said, I will be. He said, no, you've crossed a line, and I don't have many. I said, then I can move myself. He said, don't worry about it. I haven't made one goddamn comment that I was going to hurt myself other than the bullshit iron thing. Clearly he's helped me, which I'm sure you also took a screenshot of. Well, no, I mean, he sent me the screenshot, so I just copied it. I said, you've actually made several comments about wanting to hurt yourself, including to Larry, and the reason I took a screenshot of it was because I knew that you would unsend it after I read it. So you wanted me to read it, see it, and just see it and just be absorbed with it and then delete it like it never happened. I know how these things work, and I was able to send it to you 1 minute later after you did the exact thing that I told you that I knew that you would do. It's almost like you think that you can send something, have me read it, unsend it, and it doesn't impact the shit out of me. Well, it does. He said, I'm not going to hurt myself. You've offended me, but I do understand where you're coming from, and you have a right to feel that way. I think we've just possibly found a line that neither of us is willing to cross, and where you are makes no sense to me. It's such an overreach. I wish you could see the episode for what it was, and I wish I could see it from your point of view. And I said, yeah. He said, so how long are you going to be in this gun thing now? I said, don't know. He said, well, dang. He said, I think there's a simple solution to what I need to know, which is how long do you feel like you need to have the gang is removed from the house? That's completely different than safe. But it also represents other things in the meantime. And I said, what? And he said, is that a question? And I said, what you wrote makes no sense to me. And I don't know. I'm not putting a time limit on myself being comfortable or not comfortable with where you or I or we are at. He said, how long are you going to feel like I need to be protected from the guns? And I said, I'm about to get home, so I'm not going to be able to chat for a while. And he said, cool. He said, well, figure that out and let me know when you want me to come home. Hopefully it's next weekend. If it's not, then different things. He said, ultimately, it's about you not being comfortable with me, and I'm not going to come home until you are. So, I mean, I kind of get what he's saying. But also, come home. You didn't want to. All signs actually point to that, like, you've been going to Vegas this whole fucking time. Because you just kept saying it. Okay. said, I'll let you know when I feel comfortable. You're making it much harder. He said, you're really overreacting in my opinion. I love you so much. I'm okay. I said, I'm not sorry. He said, I'm not going to let 3 bad days ruin who I am, even if it takes major parts of my life down. My receipts for everything to go with it. I don't even know what that means. And I said, I would be if something happened, though. That makes no sense. So I'm saying I would be sorry if something happened. So I'm not sorry for being cautious. And then that makes no sense, whatever the fuck he just wrote. He said, I had 3 bad days. I have a medical condition. It's over, but I feel like you're not letting it be, and you have big control over whether, and you have a big control over it, whether you like it or not. Said, I'm not the one that said they wanted to kill themselves. I'm sorry you feel it. I'm sorry bipolar took over, and I'm really sorry that I'm now scared, but I'm not budging. And I'm done talking about it all now. I said, I'm sorry you chose to be elsewhere, and I hope that you're able to have a good weekend. I've got stuff I'm going to do now and can't chat. I love you. Him, I didn't say I wanted to. I said it was popping up. Big difference. I said, okay. He said, I do not want to see you look at me. I do not want to see you look at me scared of me. That's devastating to think. And I said, scared of you and for you are different, but again, gotta go. And he said, no need to be scared of me, I'm okay. Then no need to be scared for me, I'm here, I'm in here, I'm at the wheel. And he sent a video of himself crying at the airport, and then I said pretty, because he was mostly just showing me the airport, not his crying. He said, I'm really struggling to keep it together, I'm crying in the middle of this airport. I said, sad face, you'll be okay. I'm pissed at this point. And he's talking to Pat, and I'm gonna fucking read it because I just want this to get over. We're only at 6 o'clock. I said, I tried to give you the best birthday ever. I'm sorry it went south. He said, you did. I had an episode, and now you're keeping it going in sorta ands. I don't know what to do with that. I said, no, I'm not. And I'm not gonna cave on this point, so stop blaming me. Larry just asked you, why would she intentionally do something she doesn't want to do? And he's right, I never should have. I can't keep doing it. I'm not caving. Look at me get my fucking balls. He said, no, I'm not blaming you, not at all. Sorry it feels that way. I'm just not going to come home until you're ready for me to come home on our terms. Like, this is exhausting to fucking read. And I said, on your terms, but that's okay. And he said, no, on ours. We should both agree. So the other is condo, Cindy, comfy. And I said, okay. He said, I mean that. I'm annoyed at you, but validate where you are. But right now where you are is thinking I'm going to hurt myself. I am not, and I don't want to see that on your face. But I long for you. I made a big mistake going to Vegas, but felt forced to as well. He felt forced. I said, no one forced you. Keep your head about you and you'll be fine. He said, I can't be there if you are where you are. I just can't. It's not fair to you. I said, okay. I think you have. See... Oh, I think you've said your piece with Baba and can let it at that, because he was talking to Baba, my mother, at this point. He said, I'm trying to be honest and set her mind at ease without details. I said, I don't want her to get freaked out either. He said, I agree. Medically, I'm okay. I'm safe. I miss you and wish you knew I was safe. I said, I miss you. You'll be all right. Have a nice flight. Making meatball subs. Very excited. I used to eat food. He said, where are you? This is, you know, like... I said, kitchen. He said, are there people there? I said, me and Mom. He said, oh, are you worried about me still? Because Yashin's mint be. Shouldn't be. I said, yeah. But you are doing you, and hopefully you have a nice weekend. He said, I'm okay, boarding now. I'd give anything to see you in Vegas. I said, I am not going to be there again. Sorry. He said, all good. We just have to figure out this. You're worried out. You're worried part. I'm not letting this being us down. I had an episode, it's over. You have to understand that it came and went. I said, okay. He said, Brian May's on this flight. That's so cool. I said, cool. He said, guitar like that. I'm big, cool. He said, I'm scared. I know this is a bad idea. I know I'm not as okay as I need to be for this, but I have to do it now. I'm so sorry. I'm me taking off. I said, you'll be okay. He said, okay. I said, you're okay enough to play Fortnite in your room. He said, I'll be busy. I said, so do that. You'll be okay. And then I said, okay, to his busy part. He said, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm overwhelmed. I said, I cannot believe it either. He said, I'm so sad. My goddamn birthday and you and I are like this. I said, but you'll be okay. He said, it's not fair. Hey, given our combo, are you still planning to remove the guns from the home? This is like first of all of this is within the same day. And then this is like within just a couple hours. Like, are we fucking kidding? How different do you think the answer is going to be here, John? Penny, no! Oh my goodness. I didn't put them out there, so what the fuck? Given our combo, are you still planning to remove the guns from the home? Like, what specifically are your plans? And I said, oh my gosh. He said, just sitting here wondering. I think I deserve to know, but we also don't have to talk. You mentioned the other day there being several things to talk, but it wasn't the time. I'm still curious on that one. I'm just curious if you made plans with someone already or what you were doing. You should talk to me about them because they're mine. I'm not trying to offend. I said, I'm not going to move the guns yet. I don't have a plan. Or no, I said, I'm going to move the guns. Yes, I don't have a plan. My eyes are fucked up. He said, are you sure? I said, I've got a lot going on mentally and have not gotten that far. And he said, because there's no issue and I don't give you that permission. It's so ironic. This is great. It's so ironic. Me. What is ironic? Him.